Lunitar's Legends, Lore, and Lies Christmas Special. Sorry for using an AI voice, but my throat has been bad and raspy, but I wanted to get this special episode out for the holidays. Welcome, listeners, to a very special episode of Lunitar's Legends, Lore, and Lies. The holidays are upon us, a time of cheer, light, and festive gatherings. But what if I told you there's a shadow lurking behind the twinkling lights and tinsel, a darker, more sinister side of Christmas, filled with spirits and beings that punish rather than reward? Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the darker legends of the holiday season, exploring the malevolent entities that haunt Yuletide traditions across the world. So, grab a cup of cocoa, lock your doors, and settle in as we uncover the chilling tales of Christmas' most fearsome spirits. Let's start with one of the most infamous Christmas creatures of all time, Krampus. Originating from Central European folklore, Krampus is the terrifying counterpart to Saint Nicholas. Picture this, a towering figure, half goat, half demon, with horns that curl like a ram's, and a tongue that seems far too long for comfort. His glowing red eyes seem to pierce through the cold winter night, and his hooves clatter ominously on cobblestone streets. On December 5th, known as Krampusnacht, he roams the streets, punishing misbehaving children. He carries a bundle of birch sticks for whipping and a sack to drag especially naughty kids straight to hell. Think twice before skipping your chores this holiday season. But where did Krampus come from? His origins trace back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions, where he serves as a figure of fear and discipline. His name is derived from the German word Krampen, meaning claw. As Christianity spread, Krampus became incorporated into the Christian holiday season as a foil to the benevolent Saint Nicholas. While Saint Nick rewards good children with gifts, Krampus takes care of the naughty ones in the most horrific ways imaginable. Saint Nick. In modern times, Krampus has made a resurgence, particularly through Krampus parades in Austria, Germany, and even parts of the United States. These parades feature revelers dressed in elaborate costumes, complete with fur, horns, and grotesque masks, as they roam the streets rattling chains and scaring onlookers. It's become a festive, yet spine-chilling celebration of this dark figure. And let's not forget, Krampus has also become a pop culture icon, starring in horror films and holiday specials that explore his menacing nature. So next time you hear a distant clatter on a snowy night, remember, it might not be reindeer hooves. It could very well be Krampus, coming to check who's been naughty or nice. Now, let's venture to the Alpine regions to meet Frau Perchta, a figure from Austrian and German folklore. Often called the Christmas witch, Perchta is a terrifying enforcer of tradition. Her dual nature is fascinating. On one hand, she rewards those who work diligently and follow tradition by leaving a small silver coin in their shoes. On the other hand, she metes out horrifying punishment to the lazy and dishonest. According to legend, Frau Perchta would disembowel her victims and stuff their bodies with straw and pebbles. A gruesome end for those who dare defy her standards. Frau Perchta's story ties deeply into the old traditions of the 12 days of Christmas, or Rauhnachten. These nights, steeped in mysticism, were believed to be a time when spirits roamed freely and household diligence was paramount. The legend of Frau Perchta likely served as a cautionary tale to ensure people observed these customs. In some stories, her punishments extended beyond individuals to entire households that didn't uphold these sacred traditions. Bringing in size, I have witnessed her appearance is equally as haunting as her deeds. She's often described as an old crone with a hooked nose, wild hair, and tattered clothing. However, in some regions, she takes on a more dualistic nature, appearing beautiful and radiant when encountering the virtuous and hard-working. Her name, derived from the Old High German Percht, meaning bright, reflects this contrast. Though her origins are rooted in pagan traditions, Frau Perchta's legend persisted through Christian times, adapting to new cultural narratives while retaining her menacing presence. In modern celebrations, she appears in Perchten parades, where masked figures representing both her benevolent and malevolent sides dance through the streets. These parades blend fear and retribution during the holiday season. It comes within little pearls and retribution during the holiday season. So as you tidy up your home and prepare for the festivities, remember the tale of Frau Perkta and make sure your household is in order. You wouldn't want to cross the Christmas witch. Eating to Iceland, we encounter Gryla, a monstrous giantess who descends from her mountain lair each Christmas to feast on misbehaving children. Gryla's appetite is legendary, described as insatiable. According to folklore, she has a cauldron the size of a small house where she boils her victims into stew. It's said she can sense when children are misbehaving, even from her mountain home, making her the ultimate nightmare for naughty kids. Gryla isn't alone in her reign of terror. She is accompanied by her 13 sons, known as the Yule Lads. These mischievous troublemakers are a unique blend of terror and humor. Each of the Yule Lads has a distinct personality and prank that they specialize in. For example, there's Spoonlicker, who steals wooden spoons to lick, and Durslammer, who delights in waking people up by slamming doors at night. While their antics can seem amusing, they serve as another reminder of the chaos Gryla's family brings during the holiday season. Interestingly, the Yule Lads' depiction has softened in modern Icelandic culture. Today, they are celebrated more playfully, leaving small gifts or rotting potatoes in children's shoes, depending on whether they've been naughty or nice. Despite this lighter take, the legend of Gryla herself remains as chilling as ever. As a regular beater, but as far as I can tell, what the Martinsides and the Christmas tree mean what they seem. Know more about how playing in bands started earlier in the season truly works. So, when the wind howls through the Icelandic mountains this Christmas, locals know better than to dismiss it as just the weather. It might just be Gryla making her way down to check on the naughty list. Also from Iceland comes the Yule Cat, or Jólakötturinn. This enormous, feral feline prowls the snowy countryside during Christmas. Described as the size of a small house, with glowing eyes that pierce the darkness, and fur as black as the long winter nights, the Yule Cat is both a protector and a predator. According to legend, it devours anyone who hasn't received new clothes before Christmas Eve. But why clothes? The origins of this tale are rooted in Icelandic traditions of wool production. The Yule Cat was said to encourage hard work, ensuring everyone contributed to the shearing, spinning, and weaving that were vital to survival in the harsh winters. Those who worked diligently would receive new garments as a reward, protecting them from the cat's wrath. However, those who shirked their duties risked becoming the cat's next meal. In modern times, the Yule Cat is often seen as a metaphor for generosity and care. Families ensure that everyone, especially the less fortunate, receives warm clothing for the holiday season. While the tale has softened, the eerie image of the Yule Cat prowling through snowy villages still sends shivers down the spine. So as you cozy up in your favorite sweater this Christmas, spare a thought for the Yule Cat, and perhaps consider gifting a warm garment to someone in need. It's a simple act that just might keep you off the menu. From Greece, we meet the Kallikantzaroi, goblin-like creatures who emerge during the 12 days of Christmas. These mischievous beings are small, hairy, and often grotesque, with pointed ears, long noses, and sharp claws. They are said to wreak havoc in the human world during this time, spoiling food, toppling furniture, and terrorizing households with their chaotic antics. They are not inherently evil, but delight in causing as much mischief as possible. Legend has it that the Kallikantzaroi spend most of the year underground, sawing away at the tree of life, which supports the world. As Christmas approaches, their work is interrupted, and they ascend to the surface, reveling in the chance to create chaos. However, their time above ground is limited to the 12 days of Christmas, as the light of Epiphany drives them back underground. There are many ways to ward off these troublesome goblins. Some families burn a large log in the fireplace throughout the 12 days, believing the flames will keep the Kallikantzaroi at bay. Others hang pork sausages or garlic above their doors to repel the creatures. Folklore even suggests that leaving a colander outside the house can confuse them. Being compelled to count the holes but unable to count beyond 2, they lose track and flee before sunrise. Until till a woman. Modern interpretations of the Kallikantzaroi vary across regions of Greece, but their presence is a reminder of the thin veil between order and chaos during the holiday season. Makes you appreciate the relative calm of carolers, doesn't it? France gives us Père Fouettard, whose name translates to Father Whipper. His dark tale begins with an origin story steeped in gruesome details. According to legend, Père Fouettard was once a butcher who, along with his wife, lured 3 young boys into his shop. The couple killed the boys and planned to turn them into meat pies. Saint Nicholas discovered their crime and resurrected the children. As punishment, Père Fouettard was condemned to serve Saint Nicholas for eternity, acting as his sinister counterpart. Armed with a whip or a bundle of sticks, Père Fouettard's role is to punish naughty children during the holiday season. While Saint Nicholas rewards the good with gifts and treats, Père Fouettard ensures that misbehavior is met with swift and often terrifying consequences. This duality has cemented his place in French Christmas folklore as both a reminder and a warning. In modern traditions, Père Fouettard often appears during St. Nicholas Day celebrations in early December. He's depicted as a grim figure in dark robes with a sooty face and an ominous demeanor. While his presence may have softened over time, the underlying lesson remains. Good behavior is rewarded, but bad behavior has its price. Lastly, let's journey to the French regions of Alsace and Lorraine, where we encounter Hans Trapp, a figure as chilling as any ghost story. Hans Trapp is said to have been a wealthy but wicked man who dabbled in black magic and made a pact with the devil. His greed and evil deeds led to his excommunication by the church and eventual exile from society. Living in the wilderness, Hans Trapp's depravity only grew, and he developed a taste for human flesh. According to legend, Hans Trapp disguised himself as a scarecrow, stuffing his clothes with straw and hiding in the fields to prey on unsuspecting children. One fateful day, just as he was about to claim his next victim, he was struck down by divine lightning, ending his reign of terror. But even in death, Hans Trapp's spirit was said to roam, continuing to punish naughty children during the Christmas season. Modern depictions of Hans Trapp cast him as a cautionary figure, warning against greed, wickedness, and the consequences of turning away from morality. His scarecrow-like appearance, with ragged clothes and a menacing aura, makes him a haunting addition to the tales of Christmas spirits. It's a grim reminder that the holidays, while joyous, also carry the weight of reflection and accountability. And there you have it, a tour through the dark, twisted tales that remind us that Christmas isn't just about sugar plums and sleigh bells. From the whip-cracking Père Fouettard to the scarecrow-like Hans Trapp, these legends serve as a fascinating glimpse into how cultures weave morality and mystery into their holiday traditions. These stories, though eerie, reflect deeper truths about the season. They remind us to cherish the warmth of generosity, the rewards of diligence, and the value of self-reflection. The shadows of Christmas folklore may seem distant now, but they were once vital tools for teaching lessons that resonate even today. Thank you for joining me on this chilling holiday journey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with those who love a good ghost story by the fire. Wishing you a festive season filled with light, love, and just a hint of the mysterious. Happy holidays, and as always, keep an eye on the shadows, because you never know what might be lurking there.